Hey there guys, it's Sam here with a brand new tanks video. Now today is a follow-up on the video I put out the other day, which was vertical map positioning. Today we're going to be looking at horizontal map positioning. And to kick us off, we're looking at swamps. Now swamps has three main horizontal lanes, here, here, and here. And if you remember what I talked about in the vertical video, if you haven't seen it, I'll put a link on the screen right here because this is kind of important. But the quick nutshell on it was you punish vertical maps on the horizontal angles. So you hit them at 90 degrees. It's the exact same thing on horizontal maps. So we'll break that down real quick. A row horizontal lane. You punish this by setting up in B0, getting as close to a 90 as you can. Now there's not really going to be anybody in A0, but they are going to be A89. That's who you punish on that edge. The way that corner works up there is if one team is going to get aggressive, it's almost always going to be the one spawn, which is why B0 is so strong and there is no mirroring position for north spawn. The middle radial. This is an area that players generally avoid running through unless they're light tanks or until the game starts to break down. How this is punished is by the very common position of D3-4, also D5, and F7-8. Now F7-8 is the flattest to this line if you're paying attention. All that means is that you're still looking to shoot north and south from that position, and oftentimes you actually will end up punishing D5, D6, or even D3-4. And lastly, for this map, we have the horizontal line through the K row. Now, look at that and think, how is that different than our other lines so far? Bingo! The answer is that the combat position actually looks like it's for south spawn, and sure enough it is. What I mean by that is once you run down this horizontal radial, you're actually going to be looking north-south for your shot. So it's sort of the inverse of what we see over here, but with south, you run all the way across the line, and then you look north-south. If there's any questions about that, go ahead and pop them in the comments, but I think that'll make sense to pretty much everybody. And Windstorm is our second map. Now, ignore this for just a second. This example here in the middle, don't worry about it right now. North radial, we have from A4 to A9. Now this is a really common area. I know we've all played it and we're all pretty familiar with it, so I don't have to go on and on. But D6 is the perfect position to punish the horizontal. Gives you easy north-south shots through the C row, through the B row, through the A row. Very, very strong. This row right here, the DE radial, often overlooked in pubs, but much, much more used in tank companies, strongholds, that kind of thing. And the reason being is that from E4 to E7 is basically an area that only the top here can contest. And so if you can force someone around this southern corner and make it to the rock, very strong. Simultaneously, if you can play from the east side, force someone to the rock, or even stay tucked in at D6, fight it, very, very strong. Now, how do you punish it? D6 position is fine. The other alternative is to set up in an area like here in the low ground into the buildings and then slowly inch your way up. It's very difficult though. The top side is quite strong. All right, now the two bottom radials. What are we doing with those? Basically, these are bridge crossings. This is the horizontal segment of the southern part of the map. Very, very hard to punish traditionally in the ways that we've talked about so far. What are your options? You play a position like J6-7, so you get to the far edge and you look back north. Now, there's no mirror position up here. There's just simply not another good spot like that. The other thing you do, and this is what our example is here on the screen, is you punish them along the horizontal at as much of an angle as possible. And what that's going to allow you to do is shoot them while not revealing more of your tank than necessary. So this is the road line. Let me put a road down there for us. And here it is. Here's the center of the road. Pretty soon I'm going to have to join a road crew if I keep doing this. Okay, anyway. Here's the center of the road. Here's you here's the enemy. You're set up on the right side, and it can be the left. You can switch positions, that's fine, but you're set up on one edge and you're shooting across to the other edge. What this means in practice is if you're playing a position like right in here, there's a cutout on the right side of the road. Now I think we can see that actually. Hopefully that's not too blurry on your screen. There's a cutout right there, and if you haven't seen that in game before, definitely check it out on Windstorm. If you set out in that cutout and you decide to side scrape, you want to shoot the opposite side of the road, which is going to be this J row side of the road, and it's going to be that same kind of angle that we see right here. Anytime you're playing a horizontal radial that there's not an easy way to punish vertically, that is how you do it. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it was helpful for playing horizontal maps. I know in the vertical video I had a couple examples of other maps like this in the description, and I'm going to go ahead and do that in this one as well. Happy tanking, and I'll see you guys later.